Hello, welcome to Glass Half Empty Reviews. I'm the pessimist, and I just saw Blade Runner 2049, directed by Denis Villeneuve. It looks nice and talks about humanity, I guess. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. Wait, this all seems familiar. So yeah, this movie pretty much gets the same praise as the original, but does this one actually deliver? Well, I made this review. Let's get something straight right off the bat here. Yes, this movie isn't as bad as the original, but the truth is it ain't that good either. I'm probably gonna get crucified. Let's begin. So the film starts with some opening text that makes me feel like I'm taking an eye exam. Basically, blind Jared Leto brought back and improved upon replicants, with Blade Runners now tasked with hunting down the older models. We follow Kay, who is a replicant Blade Runner, as he investigates a possible replicant birth. Surprisingly, there's an actual mystery this time around. If it's not the story, then what's the big problem this time? Well, it's boring. Here's why. It's unnecessarily long and extremely slow. Events unfold at a snail's pace with a lot of unimportant scenes, or scenes that last way too long. Either someone's giving an endless speech, or Kay's moving so damn slowly. This has a negative effect on the flow of the narrative, because it feels like there's no energy or progression being made. But pessimist, this is science fiction. These movies tend to be slower, so why is it a big deal here? Well, if you cut out all the fat, this is a simple detective story. The case isn't complicated enough to warrant 3 hours, so the story and setting seem to be in conflict with each other. It's weird that this director would make this mistake, considering that Arrival was a moderate length. Hell, the first Blade Runner was a moderate length too. But whatever. Let's move on to visuals. If you've seen my review of the original Blade Runner, you know my stance on the importance of visuals in a movie. This movie can't go 5 seconds without reminding you it's set in the future, be it with its constant focusing on holograms and future technology. The movie seems to want to continuously show off its special effects, even when it has no place in the plot. I know it's to establish the setting, but it's excessive. There's also a weird emphasis on certain color tones. Never did I think I would have to complain about something so specific. For some reason, piss yellow is the color tone they choose to use throughout the film, which isn't appealing, and just a weird choice. I guess that color tone was in the original a bit, but it was a lot tamer, and more gold-like. Wait, did I just say something positive about Blade Runner? Fuck. The music's pretty disappointing too. Most of the time it sounds like either a boat is docking, or someone is just randomly pressing keys on a piano for long periods of time. Don't know if this is going to be the new go-to for sci-fi. I really hope not. Let's talk about the story. The movie is almost competent in this department, but like with everything, I have some complaints. Despite the movie taking its sweet-ass time, the ending is surprisingly rushed, with lots of major developments being revealed in the last 20 minutes. The meeting with Harry happens way too late in the film to care. This meeting, as well as the big reveal, really should have happened at around the halfway mark, so we could at least spend some time with the character to get to know him again, and for the reveal to have a deeper impact. It was at this point I had a revelation, which was, this movie doesn't need Harrison Ford's character at all. His relation to the plot felt extremely convenient and unnecessary. Anyone could have filled his role in the film. We didn't need Rick Deckard. A connection beyond the setting was not needed. Also, it's weird to see him with a bit of personality this time around. I thought they want to keep it consistent. Speaking of unnecessary characters, you know who shouldn't be in this category? Your main villain. Jared Leto gets maybe 2 scenes in the entire film. Mind you, they're very long scenes, but it's still not enough. Most of the main villain duties get shifted to his main goon, who isn't really that compelling. There's also no resolution with him either. It seems that they just wanted to give him long pretentious speeches, so the movie seems deep. I know most of you aren't going to like this next comment, but I'm just going to say it. I think this movie on the whole is a bit on the pretentious side. There's a fine line between being deep and pretentious that this movie just doesn't maintain. It's stylistic for stylistic's sake, which makes it feel rather superficial. This is seen a lot in the cinematography, where there are so many big rooms with minimal furniture to make it seem arty. There's also a couple rooms that borderline completely impractical and over the top. This includes piss-colored wavy room and Jared's room that was 95% water. As mentioned earlier, Jared is our main proprietor of pretentious dialogue, but others like to contribute too. It almost feels like a play with all these giant speeches and long conversations that just focus on the theme they already explored in the first one: humanity. I don't care if they do it better in this one. It's the same thing, and at this point it's already been played out. Maybe I just don't find the Blade Runner lore that interesting. Maybe if he focused on different stories that could be told in the universe, instead of just following 2 investigations involving replicants, my mind would change. But overall, I just don't care. So yeah, I think I'm done. Despite improving upon almost everything from the original Blade Runner, this movie isn't able to quite reach its goal. All it needed was a fair amount of trimming and some story tweaks, but as is, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. This is the part of the video where I beg for subscribers. Alright, bye.